Now before we get started, I would really love it if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get the latest content from the YouTube channel, The Last Rewind. And don't be shy about leaving your comments at the bottom of the page because you are the sole reason why this channel will be successful. Thank you. Madonna is one of the most popular icons of the 1980s, 90s, and of this century. And she got there by being one of the most innovative and risk-taking artists of all time. One of her biggest risks was the song Like a Prayer. Madonna wrote Like a Prayer with collaborator Patrick Leonard in 1989. In 1988, Madonna was at a creative crossroad. She had not recorded any new music, and she suffered from critical and commercial failure of her films Shanghai Surprise and Who's That Girl, and the Broadway production Speed the Plow. She married and divorced actor Sean Penn, and she also had just turned 30 and her mother had just died. She said in the March 1989 issue of Rolling Stone that her Catholic upbringing gave her a feeling of guilt all the time. Once you are a Catholic, you're always a Catholic, in terms of your feelings of guilt and remorse whether you sinned or not. Sometimes I'm racked with guilt when I needn't be, and that to me is left over from my Catholic upbringing. Because in Catholicism, you are born a sinner, and you are a sinner all of your life. No matter how you try to get away from it, the sin is within you all the time. By 1989, Madonna had started to realize that her fan base was starting to grow up, and they need to hear something totally different from her previous work. She wanted her next album to dictate what could be popular in the music world going forward. Madonna wanted to get more personal with her future writing. She looked into her personal journals and diaries and later recalled, "What was it I wanted to say? I wanted the album to speak to things on my mind. It was a complex time in my life." Producer Patrick Leonard was experimenting with instrumental tracks and musical ideas. Madonna felt that what Leonard presented was interesting and she started to work with him. She then wrote Like a Prayer in about 3 hours, writing and producing it with Leonard. What's the meaning behind Like a Prayer? Madonna has described the song Like a Prayer as the song about a passionate young girl so in love with God that it is almost as though he were the male figure in her life. Inspiration for the track also came from the Catholic belief of transubstantiation, the change of essence by which the bread and wine offered in the sacrifice of the sacrament during the Mass become in reality the blood and body of Jesus Christ. Later during the writing, she changed the context of the song so that the lyrics had dual meaning. To most who listen to the song in a superficial manner, the song seems to be about sexuality and religion on the surface. The song is actually supposed to have different meanings intended to provoke reaction from the listeners. When Leonard first heard this song, he later explained to Madonna that he was not comfortable with the lyrics and the sexual innuendos. For example, the lyric "When you call my name, it's like a little prayer. I'm down on my knees, I want to take you there." He felt that this could also refer to someone performing oral sex. But Madonna was unmoved. She refused to change the line as she was adamant about keeping it in. If the choir in the Like a Prayer video sounds familiar, you did hear them before in another popular song by Michael Jackson. Check it out. This was the Andre Crouch Choir. Just a side note, Andre Crouch, or Andre Edward Crouch, was an American gospel singer, songwriter, arranger, record producer, and pastor. To many, he's referred to as the father of modern gospel music by contemporary Christian and gospel music professionals. Some of his most famous collaborators were Stevie Wonder, El DeBarge, Philip Bailey, Shaka Khan, and Sheila E. Much of his material was covered by Bob Dylan, Barbara Mandrell, Paul Simon, Elvis Presley, and even Little Richard. You can also find Crouch's original music arrangements on the movie The Color Purple, Disney's The Lion King, and the popular TV show on NBC, Amen. Andre Crouch has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, has several Grammy Awards and was inducted in 1998 into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. One of the big actors that was in the video Like a Prayer was actor Leon Robinson. You probably known him best from the movie Cool Runnings, The 5 Heartbeats, and the movie The Temptations.
They coming to see me.
They coming to see the Temptations.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Leon Robinson was to play a role inspired by the patron saint of mixed race people and those seeking interracial harmony, Martin de Porres. Music video director Mary Lambert had originally taken casts of Robinson's face, hand, and feet to create the statue of the saint, but he later found that the statue didn't look anything like him, so he was asked several times to reshoot the scenes. He had to act as a statue, which he said was difficult since, first of all, I didn't realize how hard it is on the back to stand absolutely tall and straight and not move. Secondly, as a performer, you have this nervous energy, and my requirements here were a total antithesis of that. Madonna was able to get an endorsement deal with Pepsi for $5 million. In the deal, they promised to launch Like a Prayer in a television commercial. At the time, that was an unheard of arrangement, and the cola brand sponsoring the singer's next world tour. The following month, Pepsi debuted its highly anticipated commercial during the 31st Grammy Awards, with an estimated 250 million reportedly watching the ad worldwide. But this was only the commercial version. The real one would appear a month later. It was scheduled to make its worldwide debut during Entertainment Tonight before being shown in full on MTV. Lou Murray, the show's producer at the time, is quoted as saying, "It was a huge deal, and we were anxiously waiting for the video," she says, recalling that it kept getting later and later before the video finally arrived on set. "I remember snatching the video and running into an edit bay and handing it to the editor and saying, 'We got to cut this very quickly.' We popped it in the video and started watching it. And then we looked at each other and I went, uh-oh, I don't know if we're going to be able to air this." Luckily or unluckily, depending on how you look at it, the video arrived late. It was decided that it would run during the end credits, but Entertainment Tonight could only use certain portions of the video, not so visibly controversial. Murray says, "We stayed away from the burning crosses and some of the other aspects that were going to create controversy. We played it safe that day." The video was shot in 4 days, and it created quite a bit of controversy among religious groups worldwide, including the Vatican. They immediately boycotted Madonna's video, saying it had blasphemous use of Christian imagery. Religious groups were so incensed with the imagery of the music video, the Vatican even tried to boycott her Blonde Ambition tour. Madonna says, "I am aware that the Vatican and certain communities are accusing my show of being sinful and blasphemous, and that they are trying to keep people from seeing it. I think I'm offending certain groups, but I think that people who really understand what I'm doing aren't offended by it." There was call for a national boycott of Pepsi after she performed it in a Pepsi commercial, and PepsiCo's subsidiaries, including KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut. A lesser artist probably would have been destroyed by the controversy. But this did little to sway record sales, as the song topped charts across the world, including the US and the UK. It went on to sell over 5 million copies worldwide and is one of the best-selling singles of all time. But Madonna went on to be nominated for MTV's Video Music Award for Video of the Year in 1989. She was nominated with Roll With It by Steve Winwood, This Note's For You by Neil Young, Leave Me Alone by Michael Jackson. Unfortunately, Madonna didn't win that year, losing out to Neil Young. Do you think because of the controversy that Madonna's video created that year is the reason why she didn't win, or the better video won? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching.